Paul teaches against circumcision and then deflects when confronted. Okay, Justin cites 1 Corinthians 7, verse 19, in which Paul says that circumcision is nothing, to support his belief that Paul taught against circumcision. Okay, well, there's a lot to be said about this. David, you can start off. You want to say something?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, this is some confusion that a lot of people have, actually, this idea that Paul taught against circumcision. But that's just not the case, and really good scholarship has been done in this area. Pretty much no Pauline scholar, at least recent Pauline scholar, would say that Paul was against circumcision. What Paul opposed was a misuse of circumcision. So in the first century, there were certain sects of Judaism that taught that Gentiles could not be saved, that is, they could not be made part of the people of God unless they became Jewish. And the way that one would become Jewish, a way that a Gentile would become Jewish, is through ritual conversion. And this ritual conversion was a very long process, took about a year, and it included getting circumcised. So getting circumcised was like the culmination of this conversion process in the first century. And so circumcision kind of became known as a shorthand term to refer to this entire rabbinic conversion process. So circumcision, therefore, it didn't refer to simply the surgical removal of the foreskin, but it also referred to having a Jewish status in the minds of many first century Jews. And that's how the term was used. In the same way, uncircumcision refers to having a Gentile status. So there's much more involved with the terms here. So with that in mind, we can understand 1 Corinthians 7, 18 through 19 like this. Was anyone at the time of his call already circumcised? That is, Jewish. Let him not seek to remove the marks of his circumcision, that is, become a Gentile. Was anyone at the time of his call uncircumcised? A Gentile. Let him not seek circumcision, to become Jewish. For neither circumcision, being Jewish, counts for anything, nor uncircumcision, being a Gentile, counts for anything, but keeping the commandments of God. So basically what Paul is saying here is that it doesn't matter whether you're a Jew or a Gentile. The thing that matters is keeping God's commandments. That's what is important. So he's referring to this ritual conversion in the first century. He's saying Gentiles do not seek to convert to Judaism. You do not have to do that. Keeping the commandments is what matters. Having a Jewish status as defined by these first century rabbis, that didn't matter. It was nothing, according to Paul. They weren't to focus on that. And we know that Paul wasn't against circumcision itself because he circumcised Timothy in Acts 16:3. And then in Acts 21:20 through 26, he literally takes a Nazirite vow to prove the false accusations against him that he did teach against circumcision. He took a Nazirite vow to show that no, he did not teach against circumcision, but he affirmed circumcision and the laws of Moses. So do you have anything more to add on that?
Yeah, David, you explained it really well. I just want to add also that the reason that Paul was so, if you read what he said regarding circumcision, it seems like he was very much against it. Like he almost like had a hatred for the ideas surrounding circumcision in his day. And like David said, these ideas were not biblical ideas. This was not the biblical teaching about circumcision. These were ideas that were added laws of men, you can say. And the biggest problem with it was that it was actually, for some believed that circumcision saves you, and that the blood of your own circumcision is actually the blood spilled for your salvation, in essence, instead of the blood of Messiah. So as you can imagine, that's very dangerous, because you can basically say, oh, we don't need Messiah because we have circumcision. Some believe that. So that's why Paul can sometimes seem like he really doesn't like the idea of circumcision, but he is speaking about the first century perspective of circumcision,
Right.
not
Yeah,
the
he's
biblical
he's
idea.
referring. Yeah, he's referring to conversion to Judaism. Basically,
Yes,
these false teachers taught that in order to be saved, you have to convert to Judaism, and you have to do it
exactly.
our way. Yeah. So
Exactly.
that's what Paul so strongly opposed.